So that myth has been thoroughly busted. Oof. That was too hot. I won't be tasting anything for a week. And we're back! Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This week I thought it would be fun to make a video about the myths that surround Walt Disney World. I used to and still do get asked tons of questions about all these myths. So I went ahead and put together a list of the 10 or 11 most commonly asked about myths. We're going to go through the list and I'm going to either confirm or deny. I've got my tea and my list. Let's get started. Myth number 1 is that Walt Disney is one of the singing busts on the Haunted Mansion ride. Okay, at the end of the Haunted Mansion ride at Walt Disney World, there are these 5 singing busts. They're called the Grim Grinning Ghosts. And images of characters are projected onto these busts. And that's what makes them look very lifelike. And there is one of them that resembles Walt Disney in his old age. However, it is actually portrayed by a singer, Thurl Ravencroft, and he was actually the original voice of Tony the Tiger, and he was also the original You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. So that myth is busted. Okay, so this one is probably the most popular one. This one is that Walt is buried or cryogenically frozen under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Walt Disney World, or just under Walt Disney World in general. This is not true at all. This is not true because Walt Disney died in 1966, and 2 days after his death, he was cremated. Walt Disney World did not open until 1971. And where it might have kind of made sense to scatter his ashes around Walt Disney World somewhere, they are actually buried in Forest Lawn Memorial Park, which is in California. So I would count this myth as false. Oh, this next one. So this one is that Toy Story characters will drop to the ground if someone shouts, "Andy's coming!" Please stop doing this. So this goes for all Toy Story characters, Woody, Buzz, Jessie, the Army Men. It's been rumored that if you are to shout, "Andy's coming!" at any of them, that they will just stop what they're doing and drop to the ground and play toy. I don't think this was ever a thing that they went along with. When I worked at Disney, I heard it all the time, people just yelling, "Andy's coming!" just to try to like mess with the character performers or to try to get them to fall to the ground. And they keep repeating it as if the characters can't hear them. I promise you, they can hear you. They are ignoring you. Please stop yelling that. Another myth busted. This next one is that Johnny Depp visits Adventureland in disguise as Captain Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So at the very end of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Walt Disney World, there is a scene where Captain Jack Sparrow is like lounging in a chair with all the jewels and gold surrounding him, and he's just babbling on about whatever as you ride by. And he looks very real. He looks very lifelike. They did a phenomenal job on him. And there are also other points in the ride where he'll pop up and be kind of in the background. And he looks very good. His animatronic looks very lifelike. A lot of people rumor that sometimes Johnny Depp will actually come and dress up as Captain Jack Sparrow, and he will take over in one of these spots. This also is not true. Where I'm sure these animatronics can be removed for repair if they needed to be, generally it would be very unsafe to remove them and replace them with an actual human. So as fun as this idea is, Johnny Depp does not replace any of the Captain Jack Sparrow animatronics in Pirates of the Caribbean. Unfortunately, I was a little disappointed to find out this wasn't true, because when I first started working there on my internship, I was told that, and I thoroughly believed it. I really thought that if I rode that ride enough times, eventually it would be actually Johnny Depp. And then I was told that that's never a thing, it has never been a thing. And I was thoroughly disappointed. So I am sorry to disappoint all of you, but it's not a thing. Myth busted. Now this one's not exactly about Walt Disney World, but this is Disney in general. And that is that Marilyn Monroe was who Tinkerbell was modeled after. This is actually not true. Tinkerbell was actually modeled after an actress named Margaret Kelly, and that actress actually spent about a month on an empty soundstage dressed as Tinkerbell. So she would come to the soundstage and dress up as Tinkerbell and go through all the motions so that the animators could have a good idea of how to draw Tinkerbell and how to animate her more realistically. Peter Pan came out in 1953, which is around the time when Marilyn Monroe was at her peak in her career. So it makes sense, and all the puzzle pieces seem to fit. Unfortunately, it's not true. Ah, another myth proven false. This next one is that Disney characters are everywhere in the parks. When Walt Disney World first opened, and for a while after they opened, it was pretty typical actually to see just Disney characters wandering about freely throughout the park. However, because of the popularity of meeting a character at Disney has grown exponentially over the years, they are no longer able to do this because it was causing fights, it was causing the characters to be abused. So now they have to do it at specific meet and greet locations, and that is a specific location where you can find this specific character and you can go meet this character. There is usually a character attendant with them. This is the person that the character performer is relying on to keep them safe. So if there's a character walking to and from their meet and greet location, they're being led by the character attendant, or the character attendant is following somewhere behind. And if a guest tries to, say, just run up and meet this character, the character attendant will stop them and say something like, "Hey guys, their meet and greet spot's right up there. You can come get in line and meet them up there, but not here." And this keeps the characters safe, and it keeps everything fair for everyone. So yes, the days of just turning around and randomly running into some character at the parks are over. Don't know what this is, but myth proven false. Oh my gosh. So the next two kind of go into one another. So there was a myth that there is a giant dome surrounding Walt Disney World, so no bad weather can get into Disney. So that ties into the myth that it never rains at Disney World. What? I worked there for 2.5 years and it rained almost every single day that I worked there. If you are planning to go to Walt Disney World, please bring rain gear, because it is going to rain no matter what. Actually, Walt had an idea of when he was originally wanting to build this park, he did think about putting a dome around the property to control the weather. However, this was just not possible to do. So unfortunately, there is no dome surrounding the Walt Disney World property, and it does rain every day. The good news is that most of the time it will just torrential downpour for 20 minutes. And then it's clear skies and all the rain dries up, and an hour later it looks like it never even rained. You busted. This one is Disney cast members can't say no to a request. Okay, I'm never really sure where that comes from, because I did get asked that a lot. Disney cast members are trained certainly to give the best possible guest experience for everyone, but if a guest is making you feel really uncomfortable, or they're asking you to like go on a ride with them or leave your area, you know, a position that's safety critical, and you can't, I mean, you can say no. You just have to find a really Disney way to go about saying no. Usually when I did have to say no to a guest, it would be followed by something like, no, I'm sorry, I just can't let you in for the safety of the performers inside. However, if you come back in 20 minutes and get in the standby line, you'll be guaranteed a seat for our next show at such and such a time. So I always kind of followed it up with something positive so that they weren't just left with no. But no, you're allowed to say no, it's just do it nicely. That myth is false. The last one I have is that Disney World never closes. This is a weird question to answer. Disney World is open 365 days a year. However, they do have set hours. The funny part about this is that no, Disney doesn't typically close ever. The weird part about this is that right now we're in the midst of the coronavirus, COVID-19 outbreaks, so everything is shut down right now, including Walt Disney World, and they actually just announced that they're going to be closed indefinitely due to the CDC guidelines. And they have no way of knowing right now when they're going to be able to reopen, which is why this is funny, because if Disney World closes for an extended period of time, that's a huge deal. So I guess Disney World can close in very bad emergencies, but typically, no, this is not normal. During pandemics, Disney World can close. Who knew? Well, that's all I've got. Those are the top 10 most common myths that I could find and or remember for Walt Disney World. If you guys have heard of any other myths surrounding Walt Disney World and you want to know if they're true or not, you can go ahead and comment down below or tweet at me. All the links to my social media are going to be in the description box down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every week. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.